gentlemen, welcome.
Let's go.
The most wanted BK's Just Okay podcast. I am Jason Yarnell. Blake Starts, aka the commissioner, up in my top right today. My left, Sabinator, I suppose, Kyle Sabin. Welcome to this show, everybody. Hope you had a good week. Guys, how was your fantasy week this week? How'd it go?
Man, I was tilting for a little bit. I squeaked out a win, less than a point, so feeling pretty good.
Nice. Starts is definitely
all I gotta say, life is good.
And
win's a win.
And Brett Starts owe you the sincerest of apologies. Who needs a running back too? Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, crazy Derrick Henry, huh?
Derrick Henry.
That's all you need.
All right,
really.
guys. So this week, our show, we're going to talk about same thing, some interesting topics, payouts, trades. We got some new trade players on the wire. Interesting. Snickers report. Then we'll shoot over here to our free agent offers recap. Look at some recent waiver wires, and we're going to talk about a game of the week. Kyle, shoot us off. What do you want to talk about first today?
Yeah, appreciate it. So, yeah, it's crazy different things were happening last week, and hopefully everyone is able to keep up. But kind of a interesting topic, with that Monday Night Football. I don't know if anyone's been able to tune in to that Peyton Manning and Eli channel. I think it's on ESPN too, but yeah, it's good stuff. But the topic I wanted to bring up, they had Rob Gronkowski on there the other week, and they were just kind of just talking about football and stuff. And an interesting topic or a quote that he said was that, he doesn't necessarily watch film. He lets Brady do all that work, and then Brady tells him what to do. So what are your guys' thoughts about that?
Straight smoke.
Smoke.
You can't be an NFL player and not watch film. And Kyle, I hate to say it, I think you're falling for a little media hype. Yeah, I found an article on ESPN a mere 9 hours ago. Quote, I actually watched tons of film. I will probably blame the Bucs vice president. He didn't want me to go on a show. And then just a fun quote I found from that is he says, Bruce Arians apparently threatened him with taking away his vet days. And then Gronk also joked he doesn't practice on Fridays because it's red zone Robbie G already, baby.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I did not read into that story at all because I was watching the game. And yeah, I mean, Tom Brady kind of does it all. I wouldn't be surprised. He probably tells everybody what to do.
You're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just an interesting note. I mean, through the 2 weeks, he's the number 2 tight end with 12 receptions for 129 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think right now his total fantasy output is 42.9 points as well. So whatever he's doing,
more than Saquon Barkley, that's for sure.
More than my entire fantasy team. So, but yeah, whatever he's doing, yeah, it's just an interesting note there. So getting back to our league this week for the weekly high score, Brett Starts. Man, he had some players just go off this week. So give a round to Brett over there doing some good stuff. So yeah, he finished with 151.1 points, which is the highest through these 2 weeks. So it'll be hard to surpass that. And then on the flip side, the loser of the weekly survivor was Justin Gutierrez. And with 80.3 points. So fortunately, he's out in that, but still have a chance to get a weekly high. So could break even there. So
Thanks for the positivity, Kyle.
Could happen.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, we'll shoot over to Blake now with the trades.
All right. Yeah. So people are using this new trade tool on ESPN that we've kind of started to find out, where you can pick what players are on your trading block and who you're interested in. So I'm going to do first is go through all of them, and then we'll pick a couple to talk about. So Tyler, well, I don't know what his team is. Tyler Carollo has Christian Kirk on his trade block. Blake Bayless has Claypool and Josh Allen. I have Robert Woods and Devontae Parker. Saban's got Brandon Ayuk, and Jay has his entire team. So I think to start out, Kyle, what do you think? Or actually, Jason, what do you think about Bayless's Claypool and Josh Allen?
I'm glad you asked, because I also am a Josh Allen owner on other teams, and I was offered Lamar Jackson before Monday Night Football and turned it down. I don't know. I'm not worried about Josh Allen so much. I think it's team dependent. He's still a very good football player. Whoa! And thanks for going on that journey with me. He's still a good football player. I wouldn't worry about it and hit the panic button yet, unless you could trade him for maybe, I don't know, an RB. I don't know. It depends what your team needs, right? But I don't know. I'm not fretting on Josh Allen yet.
Okay. Let's see. So, Kyle, any of those trades stand out to you?
Yeah, kind of just taking a second look over everything. I'm probably yours about Robert Woods. I'm surprised you're still low on him. That offense is still very high powered. I think mostly what you're really wanting is the touchdowns, from him. But man, he's a great floor play with a good ceiling, and so I'll be interested to see, what happens. I'm still trying to figure out what I can do to trade for him. So be on the lookout.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be on the lookout. Woods is somebody I never envisioned having on my team, and I passed on Cup. We talked about this earlier. Like, I passed on Cup thinking Woods is the true one, but thought wrong on that one. But Jay, so I'm curious, who's highest on your trade block?
In terms of my team, or
yeah, who's on the hot seat?
I'm just trying to upgrade my flex. But sometimes a lot of trades don't make sense for both parties, so it's kind of hard to fill holes on another team when you take away a starter. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But right. Robert Woods could be good. There's still it's a 17 game season, fellas. Don't chop up yet.
Noted. All right. Well, with that, I'll send it back to you with the Snickers report.
Noted. Get out of here, Blake.
Noted.
All right. Snickers report. Final standings. Baker's Harry Pitts up 4. The real Slim Brady up 3. Bye week up 2. Everybody love Wayman down 7.
Damn. That was the quickest Snickers report ever. Appreciate it, Jay. Kyle, you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, that was pretty fast. Appreciate it. So I just want to mainly focus on the team that was trending up the highest, which is your team, Blake, and kind of looking over your roster of why that is. What I really like what you did was upgrade the quarterback position, Daniel Jones. I think he's one of the really sneaky plays this week, but potentially for these coming weeks, he's really doing a lot of things with his legs, and also I think last week was like one of his best games ever that he's had. So even though they did lose, he still is able to run and throw, which is something you want from your quarterback these days. And then also another player that has really climbed up is Mike Williams. I think we talked last week about that trade and everything. And Mike Williams, if you need to go see him play, he's the truth, just what he's been able to do. So I think with him trending up, that acquisition of Daniel Jones, I think that's why you're one of the highest this week. But looking on the flip side, for the team that's trending down, what are you seeing, Blake, with that team?
Yeah, well, I wanted to comment on my Dr. Jones pickup. I kind of feel like last week showed, I mean, he did score a lot of fantasy points, but if you're watching the game, it wasn't pretty. I kind of feel like that was almost a floor game, in terms of just what could have been. But yeah, the team that's trending down, it's kind of surprising because he's got the Mahomes and Hill combo. But maybe that's what happened last week. Is Hill had a dud of a week, and no one else really picked up the slack. But I mean, I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, he definitely needs to work on his running backs, but Mahomes, Hill, Hopkins, Thielen, and even Jonnu Smith, like New England tight ends, tight ends always get some usage. So I think he'll be fine. But it's funny. It's funny to see how much lower he went.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think the first week he was the highest scoring team, and we're already next week, and now he's the lowest trending down. So interesting.
I'm still caught up on the fact that you just called Mike Williams the truth. That is
Truth.
Good on you.
Okay. All right.
Noted.
2 games and he's the truth.
He's the
You're
truth.
compared to Paul Pierce, the poser. 2 games. The truth.
The truth.
All right. We're going to go over by the numbers, our free agent offers report. Insert sweet audio here. All right. So Cordell Patterson, hot ticket item. I don't know if everybody's still engaged. I mean, obviously everybody's still engaged. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bids for Mr. Patterson. He's definitely carved out a piece in Atlanta's offense. It looks like so far. And Goot is the lucky Patterson owner with $25. Way to go, Goot. I hope you can play him frequently. It's kind of hard to tell how much fab to spend on stuff, but I think a general rule that I like is take whatever you'd feel comfortable losing. And like, if you win him, right? If that makes sense. Like, you don't want to bid too low if you were comfortable losing, like winning him at a higher ticket price, if that makes sense in a weird way. Okay, great. Everybody's going well. Everybody's vibing here. Bills defense. Bayless spent 11 bones on him.
And you're gonna have to talk to his financial advisor on that one.
Don't sell the house, okay? And then can somebody help me with this guy's name?
Quintez Cephas.
Yes.
Bo Cephas.
Old syphilis went to Mr. O'Neill for $10. He's the number 1 over there, right? With Williams out.
Yeah, right now I think Williams has been ruled out or he's questionable for week 3. But either way, I think he has the greatest opportunity there to be that number 1. And Jared Goff, he's going to sling it,
Throw it.
Well, if we watched the Packers game, it wasn't awesome. Even in garbage time, it was no bueno.
Good first half, though.
Yep, good first half. Okay, I paid $5 for the Raiders D. I'm excited that they're going against Miami this week. I'm definitely playing week by week. Hunter Renfrow went to Mr. Saban for $4. Kyle, your thoughts?
Yeah, I got to talk to my financial advisor as well. I've been just throwing money.
Okay, good. Financial advisors or anybody in the league of financial advisor, please let us know.
Yeah.
And you can manage my fab for $1 fab return. Good deal. Panthers defense, 2 bidders, Connor Capdow and Mr. Kyle Saban, going to the former Connor Capdow. Way to go. They've looked good so far. Bayless, don't need to talk to his financial advisor about this one. Jeff Wilson Jr. for 0 bones. Kyle, what's you seem to be the most in tune on injury stuff. What's your vague outlook?
Yeah, I mean, that backfield in San Francisco is it's just hard to put a finger on, especially this past week. I believe all 3 active running backs were hurt with somehow. So they didn't get out there alive out of that. But with Jeff Wilson, I mean, he has, out of all the active running backs right now on the roster, Jeff Wilson has the more rapport with the whole staff. And even last year, he was a good spot play before he got injured. And so I believe he is still on IR or he's out. So you can't play him.
The pup list.
Oh, the pup list. Okay. So yeah, so he's a long play, but man, if he comes back, and I think he's going to be that number 1 guy that you want in San Francisco.
Okay. Well, what's interesting about the pup list, I didn't know the pup list, so I just looked it up right now. So the pup list is a player can be put on the pup list for football-related injuries at any time without penalty. That means teams are available to add a player back to their active roster at any time. So he's that would tell you mentally he doesn't, they don't want to give up a roster spot. But he's probably within a 3-week timeline. That would be probably fair to say.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I picked up Evan Ingram for 0 bones because Tyler Higbee getting 0 points scared the living snot out of me. Okay. On to the waiver wire. It is a good active week on the free agents offer that process. Kyle, fill me in on some of this recent waiver wire transactions.
Yeah, just looking at the timestamps, looks like we got some early risers this morning. But so really not too much activity since the waiver wire additions this morning on Wednesday morning. But the one that really caught my eye was really Max Williams. He had a really great week this last week, I think, with about 7 targets on that Arizona offense. So it'll be really interesting to see how his role is with that offense. There's a lot of good weapons on that offense. So I think he's just more of a stash and hold, but he has that potential upside to really be that Rob Gronkowski, that type of ceiling level.
Oh my, dude. That is really rich for him.
That's bold.
So like 40 of his yards came on a tip drill type play. And watching him run, it looks like a grizzly bear standing up, defending itself, hobbling on down.
I mean, have you seen Rob run?
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess Ron looks more like a transformer. This guy just kind of looked like the guy that tries too hard at slow pitch softball.
I don't know. I'm still. I think that's his comp. He's just. Tampa Bay has a lot of weapons. Obviously, has that Tom Brady rapport, but Max Williams, I think, getting him for free in week 2, I think something to keep an eye on.
I'd do a water bet on it if we want to make up our own bet for the future. Anyways, we'll think about a bet segment. I'm coming after Max Williams. Go Corvo. All right, let's talk a little bit about some games of the week to recap here, finish it up. Boys, I'm going to intro into my game of the week, if you guys don't mind. I had a heck of a time watching the Chiefs and the Ravens game this week. What an awesome football game. To go over some brief stats, Patrick Mahomes had 343 passing yards, and somehow Tyreek Hill had like nothing going down for him. Out of the entire offense, Clyde Edwards-Helaire even before his game-ending fumble, had only 15 touches of the football. So if you're looking at RB numbers and you have him, it's not really what you're looking for. You can get 13 to 15 touches out of a timeshare. So I would try to flip him after a good game. And then I got to give my boy Brian Pringle from the Chiefs a little love. He's a K-State guy, a guy that's always been under the radar. And still, this will probably be the best stat line he has as a pro, or something close to it. So it's pretty cool. 2 catches for 63 yards and a tutty. On the Ravens sides, Lamar Jackson, I didn't write his stats, had an awesome game. I think he showed everybody that he kind of had that Kobe-type mentality, man. He just kind of took over and killed it. Wasn't afraid to make mistakes, had that sick jump pass, and, that iconic, I think it's pretty iconic. If you're into NFT games, I'd buy that one, where, the head coach asked him if he wants to go for it. He's like, yes, and they went for it and they got it. And then Marquise Brown had 6 catches for 113 and a tutty, which is super encouraging. Now, boys, I think a point here to talk about fantasy impact, just even across your leagues, if you have this player, is Edwards-Helaire. Do you think the fumble last week kind of puts him in the doghouse with KC?
My initial thoughts are no. I think unlike Bruce Arians, Andy Reid is just more, how would you put it? Just more willing to put the running back right back in. So I don't think he'll be in the doghouse. But the most concerning thing is just how they're using him. He initially was drafted because he could catch as a pass catcher. And so it's really concerning the fact that they're not utilizing him as that. They're putting him between the tackles. And so it's interesting why they're using him as they are, but
he didn't have a catch last week.
Yeah. So
crazy.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's a guy who I fell off his train early on last season. Like, I mean, I didn't have him last year, but I remember after the first few games, it was kind of clear what he was going to be, and nothing's really changed this year, I don't think. So, yeah, I would, like Jay said, maybe flip him after he has a good week, but not going to get any offers from me there, Justin.
Well, it's crazy. They're definitely, their offense is more built towards their weapons, which is one Mr. $500 billion trillion man, Patrick Mahomes. Not Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, boys, what's a game you guys enjoyed watching this week that really got your fantasy rocks off?
Well, the interesting game for me was was Minnesota versus the Cardinals. There were a lot of, I think, like a 1-point game. Cardinals barely won out, but really what caught my eye that I think in a lot of different leagues is still available is KJ Osborne. I think in our league, Jason, you have him. You picked him up this last week, but I mean, he has 15 targets over the past 2 weeks. And just the way Minnesota's playing, they're having 3 wide, and Osborne is just, I think he's really going to develop into somebody that you can flex on a daily basis or weekly basis. So that's a name I'll throw out there to keep an eye on.
Do you flex him this week?
Ooh, who are they facing again?
Seattle, who just got Henry smashed. Can't believe we even talk about the King. That was he had like 40 yards in the first half and then just went nuclear.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that is interesting. With what's going on, I mean, looking at his stats, I would be willing to flex him with what's team dependent, but in a full PPR yeah, definitely I would be willing to flex him and having that touchdown upside.
How does Minnesota just keep pumping out wide receivers?
They have their
Like there's just
they got their
and they're
quarterback, Kirk
and they're
Cousins.
all and they're all like fantasy plays, all of them.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
I think it more attributes to their defense. I don't think it's as good as in years past, so they have to throw now. And so
Starts. What's your favorite game of the week?
Well, I did not watch many games this weekend, but one that I did watch, well, and I had some, local skin in the game. My Texans against the Browns. It was actually a pretty good game until Tyrod got hurt, but
yeah.
Yeah, he's
but
got bad luck.
they were sticking with them, and Cleveland was kind of struggling. And I actually benched Baker partly because I had a feeling that was going to happen. And if the game ended at the first half, I would have looked like a genius. But
Yeah.
that second half happened.
I tell you what, I was checking up on that score, and I have another league where I have Matt Ryan, and I was giving Tyrod some serious consideration. I tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
So, boys, anything else you guys want to talk about this week before we head out for the night?
I wanted to give a shout out to Cap Daddy, projected. I don't know how I didn't notice this earlier. Projected number one right now
Wow.
from third to first.
We'll see about that.
Rare territory. Let's go.
Do we even know what this looks at?
No.
That's the
Like,
way
I
I
don't-
like my Snickers, dude. All right, guys. Everybody have a great week. Thanks for joining us. We'll get the updated stats in terms of positional stats, hopefully up next week. And I forgot the email password, but still send me your pictures pointing at all you guys. Nobody else likes it. I'm going to do it. Okay. All right. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.
Yep. Signing off. Have a good
Later.
one.